Hello everyone, my name is NABILA Putri Tatipikalawan, NPM 2021125000135, class S2A class. And here is mid test pronunciation practice from me. Check this out. Hi everyone, today's Tech Times podcast, we're lucky to have Sam Morgan, a well-known digital journalist with us. So Sam, what interesting teaching topic would you like to talk about today? Hi Brad, today I'd like to talk about some of the reasons why we shouldn't automatically believe everything we read online and how false information spreads so easily with the help of technology. One of the reasons for this a phenomenon known as circular reporting. Circular reporting? What's that? Well, it's basically reports which are based on other reports rather than on primary evidence or search. To the reader, it looks like the information is coming from several different independent sources, which normally means it can be trusted. But in actual fact, all the reports are based on each other. Imagine a piece of false information is published, for example on Wikipedia, and then is referenced in a newspaper article and other publication. Then, in turn, the original Wikipedia entry references or quotas in article as validation that the information is true. In a nutshell, it's confirmation of false information by more than one publication. Okay, let me see if I've understood correctly. Someone writes an article on Wikipedia which contains some false information. That's right, false information which is not referenced or checked and in no way is obvious as being false. Okay, and then this false information is copied from Wikipedia by journalists and included in a newspaper article. Yes, or other type of article as if it were true information. And then Wikipedia references the newspaper article which verifies the information in the original Wikipedia article as being true. That's right. And sometimes it's not just a newspaper article that cites the false information. The several publications may include it, and so it becomes very difficult to prove that the original information is false. Let me give you an example. A few years ago, a 17 years old American student was on holiday with his family in Brazil. He spotted what he believed to be an aardvark, but which was in fact a type of Brazilian raccoon called coati. When the boy got home after his holiday, he went online and changed the Wikipedia entry by adding the name Brazilian aardvark to the information on the article, a sort of joke, and then he forgot about it and thought nothing more of it. However, what started to happen was that articles and blogs began to quote the information from Wikipedia, and then those articles were reported as evidence in Wikipedia. Before long, everyone was talking about Brazilian artwork as if it were factual information. So, when information makes its way from Wikipedia page into a published article, the article could be spreading false information without even realizing. Exactly. It makes you wonder how many hoax initiated by people in this way have ended up as true is many people's mind just because people copy and paste vandalized Wikipedia page. That's not say that all false by any means. There's a ton of really false information there and it is constantly being updated. Many people consider it to be the most up to date and unbiased encyclopedia in the world. However, it is the open structure of Wikipedia compared to a traditional encyclopedia, which means is it a target to be temperate. So we just have to be aware that there may be a certain amount in courage on Wikipedia. Yes, and it also worth mentioning that circular reporting is not just restricted to harmless information like the Brazilian artwork, isn't it? No, for example, some time ago, claims that certain vaccine could cause autism in children were published in a prestigious medical publication by a British surgeon. The problem was that, uns- that the unsupported claims were picked up by the media and the news spread like wildfire. Soon enough, the general public were understandably concerned about the risks, and huge number of parents refused of, to vaccinate their children. Consequently, in recent years, we have seen increase in the number of children suffering childhood disease such as measles. By the time the claims were proven unfounded, the damage was done, and even to this day, some people still believe that there is a link between vaccines and autism. It just goes to show how difficult it is sometimes for the truth to be heard. Absolutely. So, in practical terms, how can we be sure that what we're reading is true? Well, we can take certain steps, such as checking the original source of the information and at all possible checking that the original source is reliable and not just taken from either Wikipedia, Facebook, or the media, right? So we to be a little more critical and not just believe everything we read online. That's right. Although it's difficult because we want to information quickly and immediately. So it's not always reliable to spend with checking and sources of information and decide ourselves if we think it's true or not. If you feel unsure about validity of certain information, then there's no harm in looking into it further to check how true it actually is. That's very true. We often take things at face value and don't really take the time to think critically about them.